welcome back everyone. It's been a while since I've done an update, so as you can see I've stripped a fair bit out since you last saw it. One of the biggest issues that I always sort of worried about was obviously planning on using it sort of for what it's intended for, is water ingress and how I was going to deal with it, because I always wanted a nice interior, but I also didn't want to have to try and deal with drying it out. So I've been looking at a company called Carbuilders. They've got some really nice products. So the reason why I've stripped it right out is because I'm going to obviously take all this factory deadener out. It's not even sort of sealed in areas, so that sort of limits its purpose if it's not sealed down onto the metal. So I'll run and I'll put it all up. Any of these flat panels that can vibrate, it'll get the treatment too. So yeah, I want it nice inside. I want to try and limit the road noise, but I'm also not going to have air conditioning too. So I've dropped the hood lining. As you can see, it's just got this real thin stuff. So I'll put the sheets of butyl or deadener up in all those areas. From what I've sort of researched, when you get into your radiuses and stuff like that, obviously it's a lot stronger there and there's a bit more tension, so it doesn't vibrate as much. But yeah, I'll probably bring it right down. There's also a product they have which is called insul layer. So it's a peel and stick type product. So I'll stick that to the deadener. And I'm also going to put a brand new black hood lining, because it had the white one, they all goes yellow and fuss around where it was tucked into the sort of window frames, and there's a little bit of rust. It's all gone hard. So yeah, just want to try and make it nice. The other thing is, the reason why it's been stripped in here so much is because obviously changing the colour, I've got to do the tops of the width, like where you sort of top of your doors and the back, and door jambs, etc. So the tank had to come out anyway, because it was full of water. It was so bad that even the neck was all rusted. So the tank should leave today, and I'm hoping to get the other fuel components sent next week. So basically it'll be all brand new from the cap, fill and neck down into the tank. I'm going to get all new lines put through, so these hoses go into the pipes just there, which then come along tight up underneath the tunnel here. I'm going to put a new 215mm upgraded clutch in it, so I'll drop the gearbox out, and while I'm under there I want to apply some sort of protective, whether it's a U-pole Raptor I put underneath, or whether I go for just a body shorts, but I want something that sort of doesn't hold the mud. So yeah, the gearbox is going to have to come out. I'm not even sure what the condition the gearbox is in, to be honest. So that'll be just a case of I'll see if it can select all gears. When I drop it out, I'll have a bit of a feel. Let's see whether any obvious slack in the sort of in any of the sort of noisy bearings and stuff like that. So, and I'll put it back in, and I've got another gearbox there I can swap if I have to. So yeah, the fuel lines will be replaced all the way up to the throttle body. With the deadener, it hasn't got it in these areas, so I'll put the deadener right through behind the thing. see a lot of people doing the wheel arches. That's, you know, that's pretty solid sort of, but I'll still do it for the sake of what it's worth and stuff like that. I'll do underneath the tank as well. So yeah, getting back to the water, it's always been a bit of a worry with this type of cotton or underfelt underneath your carpet or your rubber mats. So Carbuilders have this product in this garbage truck just here, buddy, collecting the garbage, so he's making a bit of noise. Actually, the smoke's starting to clear here. We had a really hot day yesterday, like it was into the 40s pretty well all around Newcastle, and even last night it hasn't cooled down till now. When the sort of bit of a change come through, it brought all this bushfire smoke in again, so it is a lot much nicer than yesterday though. So now, where was I? Yeah, so I've pulled all the original matting and that out, so I'll use that as a template, because the Carbuilders have a product called they have two actually. There's a heavy duty one and then like mass noise liners. They've got a heavy duty one and then they've got a lighter one, and then they've actually got one that's designed, it's got a bit of a textured or nicer interior sort of look to it, and all those products are waterproof. So if I do get water ingress, at least I know I can, it's not going to stink up and rotten like the normal cotton underlay does. So I'll be able to take it out and let everything dry out. So that's sort of a big thing that I was worried about. Obviously with the ECU being this low, there's scope for me to move it up underneath, so I'll get that a little bit higher, just so if I do get any water, serious amount of water in, but that's not gonna sort of be an issue. You do have to be a bit worried under the dash here, because Lada's got the vent in the bonnet and it basically floods straight in onto the floods straight into here, so, and even if you've got the flap closed, it'll still make its way in, so you've got to be a little bit careful. Under the bonnet, I've started to sort of pull harnesses back out of the way. This was originally run up underneath there and across the other side. I haven't, obviously, going to sort of paint under here. Radiator will probably have to come out. I'll pull this out. I've removed the harness back as far as I sort of can at this stage. Fuel pipes and hoses will come out. And yeah, I'll cross the bridge when I come to it. If I need to pull the harness back through the firewall, it's a little bit difficult. Like with the ECU, there's two separate. When these got brought in, as far as I know, Haltech did the original standalone sort of thingy, but AC Delco basically supplied the ECU fuel injection harnesses. So they're separate to a certain extent to the standard sort of Lada one. So that shouldn't be too bad to bring back through if I have to. It sort of helps being an auto elect. I'll work around that. So the other thing I've done is I've obviously loosened all this stuff off, the wiper motors out, the wiper arms, and yeah, I'll get this stuff's all sort of out, sort of. So yeah, when it comes time, I'll prep all this, and we'll throw some, which I think will be green under here. I haven't stripped that door yet, just it's a little bit tight in there. I could probably do it if I wanted to, but use that as an excuse anyway. This door, the window was very scratched up, so it needed replacing anyway. Deadener in here, it's got some, but not all, so that'll get some sort of deadener through there, and then I'll have to look to these areas, and I'll try and sort of get a bit of that vibration out of there as well. what else have we got to cover? So yeah, with bringing the old deadener up, I just brought some, like, took it back to the floor pan in my Mazda. I used the heat gun and the scraper. Very tedious job, probably 5-6 hours with, and then to finish off petrol to clean it right out. I brought some isopropyl alcohol the other day, so I'll get some dry ice. I'll mix that up into a slushy type consistency, and yeah, you just basically drop it in there and move it around, and that should come up in sheets. So I'm hoping I get a relatively clean floor pan, but I'm gathering there's going to be a little bit of surface rust here and there, so I'll have to probably sand that back and throw some sort of paint down, anti-rust paint or something down, just to give us a nice surface rather than putting the sheets straight over rusty. I'm getting all new rubber bungs. There's 30 something small ones and 12 big ones, so they're only 50 cents and sort of 30 cents or something. So I think all up new bungs, I think it was going to be about $16. So I'll get all new bungs. I'll put some sealant around those and yeah, drop all those back in. I'll try and keep this water out as much as possible. Yeah, not much else to report really. This bumper's still on because someone's welded the rear exhaust bracket to the inside of the mounting pipe, so I haven't got under there and chopped that off as yet, but I'll be getting a bar made up for the back here, RHS, and probably have the spare wheel sitting low because I don't have to deal with the lights going across. I'll probably get away with the spare wheel pretty low. That'll give me still a bit of vision out the back. Yeah, but then I've got to sort of deal with, I want to put a couple of jerry can racks there, fuel or water. The other thing, why I've got the, it's worked out really good. It's got a few dents up there that need taken care of as well, but very restricted for what I can get for a rack here in Australia. So Rhino make a rail style, they're about 1.2 meters long, to fit on the canopies and what have you, to mount. Like, I want to get away from the gutter mount because yeah, they just knock the gutters around too much. I'm sort of not really liking the idea of getting it all nice in there again and then having racks sitting in there and then rusting again. And so I've got lucky because I've got the strip, like, reinforcing cross brace there. It's about 300 from the front, from the back, sorry, and then the one at the front's about 250, 300 from the front. So I'll look to see how straight the roof is on those runs, and obviously I'll mount that going forward, and that'll open my options up for what I can do with what's available in Australia as far as racks go. But so that's the other benefit of having that hood lining down. But for what it's worth, the job that's involved in taking it down, it's just, yeah, it's be stupid not to do it. And I want the interior reasonably nice inside, so I'm buying a lot of brand new interior stuff for it just to bring it back up to speed. And so yeah, yeah, not much happening on the body front. I do have to do the wheel arches. I'm going to sort of cutting those, sort of follow that line around, sand it back, then I'll carefully sort of beat it back up, and that'll be my finish point, obviously there. The front won't need much happening. The back's which is gonna be good because it's gonna get rid of a bit of this rust that's here. I'm still thinking when I hit this with the orbital sander, I'm gonna have a bit of a bit of a repair there to do, but in the back I'm not sure what to do as yet, because as you can see, it's all spot welded through that, and that's, I pretty well need that to go. So see a lot of them, they I saw one the other day, I actually cut all that, and they didn't actually tack it back in, tack the inner to the outer. They just bent it back up, and I'm thinking, oh god, that's a bit rough. But you see a lot of them that actually re-weld it. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna have to drop the diff out and everything out underneath, because I want to either do inside here with the Raptor liner. It doesn't hold the mud. That's what I want. I want to be able to come home, pressure cleaner, and basically get it sort of nice and clean quick. So all underneath we'll get possibly the Raptor liner or body shorts, whatever's going to be. There's going to be a fair bit of prep work if it's a Raptor, because it needs a good surface to stick to. So potentially I'd have to get under there and sort of do a lot of sanding. So yeah, I'll just have to, as you can see, I've probably gone a bit further than what I was sort of planning on doing, but may as well sort of make a good go of it while we've got it down this far, and won't have to be done for a fair while in the future. So yeah, that's about all I can give you an update on at the moment. I got the snorkel the other day. It's just your standard style snorkel that comes up and sort of sits above the sort of just on into the roof line. So I'll cut the bonnet to suit that, get any sort of nutsert standoffs we need in the A pillar going up the driver's side there, just to give the snorkel some support, and I think that's about it. So got these sort of out laying them flat, so I'll probably use those as a bit of a template to make these new mats when I get around to it. But yeah, that's horrible stuff. It was probably good in its day. Technology's obviously moved on, and yeah, we sort of live in a good age with restoring cars and stuff like that, just with the products that are available. And so there's a lot of off-the-shelf sort of stuff now. So, and especially sort of with these, as everyone knows, it's sort of got Ladas and that, like, things are very cheap to buy. It's the shipping that kills you. So yeah, I do get a bit carried away on the computer there somewhere. I'm going through the catalogue and I'll just see what prices things are. And I was like, yeah, I'll just get a new one. I won't even worry about trying to see. I was going to paint that hood lining with black, like hood lining sort of, but for, I think it's $17 US, you wouldn't even think about it. And like, I can buy everything I want for this, and it's just, yeah, the prices are just so cheap that you just you think, no, bugger it, I'm not even going to think about restoring that. Or so yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and next time, yeah, hopefully we'll have a nice clean floor pan. There'll be no deadener go down until we get the bodywork done. So once that's done, I was hoping to get all the fuel stuff here so I could move the vehicle around, but yeah, it's not going to happen like that. And with all the stuff I've taken out, it might get a bit lighter, because I'll potentially, when I paint it, I'll just get it back up into the shed. And yeah, pretty well either underneath or bodywork will be next. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, and yeah, hopefully we'll have some nice updates for you next time. Bye for now.